Everyone join me for the pledge. Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Speak. Citizen comments. Citizen comments is closed. Announcements to the chair. I want to welcome Ashley Dabbs. She's to my right, your left. She serves on the Joint Service Committee. I want to welcome her tonight. Again, to reiterate, if you have any questions for the Finance Department, submit those and get them to them in a timely fashion, and hopefully they'll get back to you in a timely fashion with the answer that you're seeking. Also, too, Kenosha County lost a dear friend this past Saturday with the passing of Kenosha County Clerk Edna Highland. She passed away at Brookside Care Center this past Saturday. She loved Kenosha County, loved the employees, loved the Kenosha County residents. She had a long career with Kenosha County, 32 years, 12 years as the county clerk. She stayed active in the community. She always wanted to give back and make a difference. She served at Brookside Board of Trustees, the Shalom Center, to name a few. She was also active in the Kenosha Democratic Party. We were all better for having known her. Visitations will be held for her tomorrow night at Proco Funeral Home from 4 to 7 p.m. and again Thursday morning at 10 a.m. at First United Methodist Church until 11 o'clock in the morning. Please stand and join me in a moment of silence, please. Thank you. We'll move on to supervisor report. Supervisor Alverman, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reported on all the committee activities at our last meeting, but one item last evening, we had our discussion and look at our Department of Public Works budget. The budget as a whole is slightly down from last year. There's naturally, some questions in the CIP. We were given a new presentation on some things on Brookside. The addition and construction on Brookside that I've been reporting on. So we'll be bringing that. Other committees will be hearing about it. We'll be bringing that to the county board before any bids go out for that project. Everyone will be have full knowledge about what we're looking at. What happened with Brookside is naturally when you initially look at doing a project, you come up with some different ideas, and there's some new ideas. Some cost savings, some things for the future, and some new expenditures, so we'll keep you updated. Our budget last night was approved by the full committee in all departments, and we look forward to bringing that to the Finance Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Supervisor Boyd Frederick, you have the floor.
Thank you. This last Friday, WCA had a board meeting. The most pertinent thing when it comes to Kenosha County is right now in Madison, there is a bill going around returning first-time nonviolent 17-year-old offenders back to the county. Right now, there is no cost to the state. All the costs to this will come back to the county. So this is something to watch and something that could affect the county over the next year a great deal.
Thank you, sir. Move on to Supervisor Noble, sir. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On October 1st, Supervisors Bruning, Dodge, O'Day, Decker, Poole, Retzlaff, Gable, and Noble attended a training session on economic development for elected officials. The session was essentially an interactive case study of an actual economic development proposal involving a TIF district in the state of Wisconsin. The project company narrowed down the development opportunities to 2 locations, one of them in Wisconsin and one of them in Texas. Essentially, we went through the actual 75-day process in a 5-hour session, and it was a lot to cover in 5 hours. We went through an overview of the many facets of economic development, including positioning your community, profiling of the project, sizing up the competition, as well as discussing several development strategies. After we mapped out the project pipeline, it was apparent that the TIF needed to be amended to secure the development. So at this point, we broke down into 3 groups, one being a joint review board, and a group of pro-development and a group of opposed to the development. And each side then presented their case to the review board, and I was on the review board, so I will say quite effectively they gave their case. And the review board then made their decision. And as I said, it was an actual case, so after we made our decision, we found out what actually happened. Where did the company build? Did they decide to build in Wisconsin, or did they end up building in Texas? The class is being offered in Ozaukee County and Washington County, so I won't spoil the outcome for any future participants. It's still open to anybody from Kenosha or from the city. I believe the session was an excellent training for the elected officials of the participating communities. In addition to the aforementioned county supervisors, representatives were there from the village of Bristol, the village of Paddock Lake, village of Pleasant Prairie, village of Silver Lake, village of Twin Lakes, village of Summers, and the town of Summers. So every one of those communities did get to enjoy having their elected officials get some education regarding economic development. On a side note, you may recall one of Kenosha County's employees put this class together, Amy Greil, and she appeared at the podium and talked about this particular class, but she's done much more. In fact, she's done so much that she, as well as 4 other young people, are being recognized Thursday night as one of Kenosha's rising talents. Y-Link, which is a young professional organization that is basically managed by Kenosha Area Business Alliance, is recognizing her as, like I said, and she's a Kenosha County employee. She's an educator for UW Extension. Basically, they're being honored for their accomplishments, for positively influencing the quality of life in Kenosha area through their community involvement, professional achievement, and leadership and inspiring vision for the future of Kenosha. So you did get the opportunity to see her, and I think we should just recognize her accomplishments here and thought the supervisors should know about it. So that concludes my remarks.
Thank you. Move on to Supervisor Rolls. You have the floor, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few meetings ago, the board referred the appointment of Mr. Passetti back to the Human Services Committee for review. I've been watching the agenda of the committee, and I have not seen it agended, and just inquiring as to its status and anticipated return to the board with some sort of recommendation. That's my question. Thank you.
You got it. We'll get back to you on that, okay? Supervisor Ritzloff, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to comment on something that happened in our Human Services budget meeting last night. In the 11th hour, per se, we were presented with an update on Brookside, if you will, to approve, and it's they need $1.5 million more for their project, which is roughly 7%. They have their reasons. My comment to the Finance Committee is, prior to, I think, proving this, we should have some input as to why. We weren't given that opportunity last night. I guess some people didn't really care that it was that much. So I asked that when this gets brought up in the budget review, that at least someone ask some questions, because I guess we're not going to get that chance. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Supervisor Anita Johnson, you have the floor.
I just want to add to that, that we have requested that our committee is able to meet with Ray Arbit, and David has reached out to him. He's responded with a couple of tentative dates for him to come in the next, I believe it's in the next week, so sometime very soon. So I'm sure that David or somebody will get all that information. It'll have to be announced, right, if we have a meeting of the committee, so.
That's correct.
So you might want to keep your eyes open and come and listen and ask questions of Ray when he's in front of our committee, our special meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Supervisor Ron Frederick, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know you've all saw the letter on your desk from the Personnel Department. I hope you'll read it. It's about the health insurance. There's been some information spreading around on Facebook and other pages about the county's health insurance, and I think you ought to take a good look at it, because our county employees pay a great amount toward their insurance. So I hope you'll take a look at it, and we won't have to go through that argument another budget. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Seeing no other lights, we'll move on to county executive appointments. County Clerk?
Dean Troyer to serve on the Kenosha County Zoning Board of Adjustments.
Refer to Planning, Development, Extension, and Education Committee.
Old Business Resolution 6, resolution to approve the appointment of Jeffrey Gens to serve on the Joint Service Board. Esposito, yes. Johnson, yes. Anita Johnson, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Arrington, excused. Blau, yes. Ron Johnson, yes. John Poole, yes.
Supervisor Esposito.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the resolution.
Resolution 6 been moved by Supervisor Esposito, seconded by Supervisor Ron Johnson. Supervisor Esposito.
This resolution is to reappoint Mr. Gens as the chairman of the Joint Services Board. We all know his dedicated work to that asset and that facet of that board. I ask your approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? County Clerk.
New business ordinance, one reading, 19, from Planning Development Extension Committee, ordinance regarding Town of Salem owner, Brad Zalke, agent, requesting a rezoning from R4 Urban Single Family Residential District to R4 Urban Single Family Residential District and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District, Town of Salem. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, yes. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 19.
Ordinance 19 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Decker. Supervisor Noble.
Yes, this property is located on the southeast corner of the intersection of 268th Avenue and 90th Street. The rezoning would change the zoning to reflect actual field conditions of the wetlands. The Town of Salem recommended approval of the request.
Thank you. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes.
Ordinance 20 from Planning Development Extension Education Committee, Marion Niles Trust owner, Ryan Fasano, agent, requesting a rezoning from R2 Suburban Single Family Residential District to R2 Suburban Single Family Residential District and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District, Town of Salem. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Skalitsky, yes. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
Move ordinance number 20.
Ordinance number 20 has been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Skalitsky. Supervisor Noble.
This property is located on the southwest corner of the intersection of County Highway AH and 262nd Avenue. The rezoning would change the rezoning to reflect actual field conditions of the wetlands. The Town of Salem recommended approval of the request, as did the committee.
Thank you. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes.
Resolution 45 from the Finance and Administration Committee, a resolution to appoint Virginia Brown to the Kenosha County Library System Board. Rose, yes. Ron Frederick, yes. O'Day, yes. Kohlmeyer, excused. Brunig, yes. Gens, yes. Dodge, yes.
Supervisor Rose.
Move the resolution.
Resolution 45 has been moved by Supervisor Rose, seconded by Supervisor Ron Frederick. Supervisor Rose.
Mr. Chairman, this appointment was reviewed by the committee, and the committee supports it and urges your endorsement.
Thank you. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes.
Resolution 46 from Judiciary and Law Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Anita Johnson to serve on the Joint Services Board. Esposito, yes. Ron Johnson, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Arrington, excused. Anita Johnson, yes. Poole, yes. Blau, yes.
Supervisor Esposito.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move Resolution 46.
46 been moved by Supervisor Esposito, seconded by Supervisor Boyd Frederick. Supervisor Esposito.
Again, this is a reappointment of Supervisor Johnson to serve on the Joint Services Board. I ask for your approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Passes.
Resolution 47 from Planning Development Extension Education Committee, resolution regarding final condominium plat of 27330 Silver Lake Road, Trails End Lake House, LLC owner, David Smith, agent, Town of Salem. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Galitsky, yes. Ratzlaff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
I move ordinance number 48, or resolution, I'm sorry,
47?
resolution number 47.
Resolution 47's been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Ritzloff. Supervisor Noble.
This property is located on the north side of County Highway F, approximately 350 feet east of 273rd Avenue. The resolution would approve a 3-lot condominium subdivision. The Town of Salem recommended approval of the request.
Thank you. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Passes. County Clerk.
Resolution 48 from Planning Development Extension Education Committee, resolution for Kenosha County Board adoption of the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy for Southeastern Wisconsin 2015-2020. Noble, yes. Decker, yes. Galitsky, yes. Retzloff, yes. Gable, yes.
Supervisor Noble.
Move resolution 48.
Resolution 48's been moved by Supervisor Noble, seconded by Supervisor Gable. Supervisor Noble.
Nancy Anderson from Sewer PAC, she's the Chief Community Assistance Planner, presented a PowerPoint presentation of the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, SIDS, for Southeastern Wisconsin 2015 at our meeting. The plan is supported by the Kenosha Area Business Alliance. And you'll see that there's, on your desk, there is a letter from Todd Battles stating that he supports it. Not only does CABA support it, but he personally worked as a member of the Regional Economic Partnership. And one of the things he points out in his letter that in Kenosha County, the redevelopment of the Chrysler site is identified as a Tier 1 priority item. This program is intended to bring together the public and private sectors to develop a strategic plan to diversify and strengthen regional economies. Efforts will focus on the following: expanding and attracting key cluster industries, enhancing the export capabilities and capability of the region's firms, aligning workforce development with growth opportunities, fostering innovation and entrepreneurship, catalyzing economic placemaking in urban areas, and modernizing regional infrastructure, including transportation, broadband, energy, and so on, enhancing public, private, and interagency cooperation and collaboration. The adoption of this SIDS by the county board would enable the county and the communities within the county to apply for economic development administration grants, which of number 1 priority will be the Chrysler property. And Sewer PAC will then be requesting the EDA to designate the region as an economic development district, which would increase opportunities for all county and local governments into the region for applying for grants. So you're supporting this tonight. Will support everything I just said.
Thank you, sir. Seeing no lights, simple majority vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Thank you. County Clerk.
Resolution 49 from Public Works, Facility and Finance and Administration Committees, a resolution to apply for grant funding for the purpose of stocking muskellunge in the Kenosha County stretches of the Fox River. Alverman, yes. Grady, yes. Boyd Frederick, yes. Galitsky, yes. Poole, yes. Rose, yes. Ron Frederick, yes. O'Day, yes. Colmeyer, excused. Gens, yes. Brunig, yes. Dodge, yes.
Supervisor Alverman.
I move Resolution 49, Mr. Chairman.
Resolution 49 has been moved by Supervisor Alverman, seconded by Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Alverman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a grant, or we're asking to give Mr. Rudy the authority to apply and sign paperwork for this grant. It's one of those grants that we're sometimes approached on. There's an organization called Muskies Incorporated. There's a Milwaukee chapter. The state of Wisconsin has a conservation aids program that offers a 50-50 match for this type of stocking. And, you know, some people are not aware that there are muskies in this part of the state. Silver Lake has a pretty good population. And the chain of lakes does too, so Fox River's kind of, you know, somewhat populated, but what the state wants is for a higher population. So this would be stocked in the portion of the Fox River by Fox River County Park, up and down that area. And their hopes, as the resolution reads, is to, you know, clean up areas, get rid of some undesirable fish, and take care of the recreation needs for fishermen. So the total cost is $1,491, and there's 142 muskies, so they must be just under $1 a piece. And our portion will be $745, but we will be reimbursed our 50-50 by the Milwaukee chapter of Muskies Incorporated. So I'd ask for your approval.
Thank you for that. I'm ready to go get my fishing pole right now. Seeing no lights, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Thank you. County Clerk.
Communications from Andy M. Bueller regarding future items scheduled before the Planning Development Extension Education Committee.
Receive and file.
Claims, Jamal R. Patrick, vehicle damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Time Warner Cable, Phoenix Loss Control, equipment damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Approval of the October 6th County Board and October 13th Committee of the Whole meeting by Supervisor Gens.
Supervisor Gens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move the minutes from those two meetings.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gens for those two meetings to be moved October 6th and 13th, seconded by Supervisor Esposito. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Motion for adjournment? Been made by Supervisor Grady and seconded by Supervisor Gable. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Thank you. Have a great evening.